Good morning. Welcome to Quantum's Liberty, day 41. Hope this day is finding you well. Good morning, buddy. There's your water. Welcome to day 41 of the Quantum's Liberty, DeStress, and Immune Boost series. Today on the phone with us we have Micheal. Micheal is 8 years old, and he's in New York right now. We're going to start tapping. Micheal's a really interesting kid, like every kid is. And Micheal was telling us, keep tapping on your karate chop point, that what we're going to do is sometimes what he has an experience of is he has a unique gift in which he says that he can channel or talk with and receive information. Keep tapping on your karate chop point from the divine or from source or from the quantum field. He said whatever you want to call it. But so he has several little podcasts that he does, and he talks with people, and his parents do this too. So one parent, his mom actually went off, keep on tapping on the karate chop point, and she does work with channeling for actually kind of through the internet, right? She's like more an internet person now, and then your dad communicates like as a vet. So he has interesting parents who also are in touch with the field that some call the divine and some call, a specific person. So Micheal was saying that sometimes, keep on tapping on the karate chop point, sometimes he has a little bit of overwhelm from all the information that seems to come in from outside, right? And so ways that he makes that a little bit easier to deal with right now is by meditating. So I thought, suggested that we try some tapping and see if once he's learned tapping, then he could use this tapping meditation to come back into a place of center and calm anytime he feels a little bit off. So let's do a quick tapping one for Micheal. All right, Micheal, thanks for bringing this up and for allowing us to serve a greater number of people with whoever feels that this would benefit them. So tapping on the karate chop point continually, we're going to start with 3 setup statements. And what tapping on this point does is it slows down the firing to the amygdala, which is your fight, flight center, and freeze center of the brain. So if you tap on this point here, and you are having a memory, the brain doesn't know the difference between a memory and actual event, interestingly enough. But if you are tapping on this point during a memory, or when you know you're going to be triggered, or if you're having overwhelm from external environment things and you want to be more centered with that contact with the divine, then you can tap on this karate chop point, and that will slow down the firing to the amygdala, which then will slow down the release of your stress hormone. And within 14 seconds also, when you begin to realize that you're having stress, it has already, before that, just within a couple seconds, it has already increased the amount of oxygen in your prefrontal cortex, because it also has direct contact with the rate at which the capillaries in your prefrontal cortex, where you think about the next best thing to do. So these capillaries, instead of constricting 70% within just a couple seconds of a trigger before you even know about it, then those will constrict your capillaries in the prefrontal cortex, so it makes it more difficult to think about the next best thing to do. But if you're tapping on the karate chop point when you know you're going into a situation of overwhelm, right? And you can even just do it right behind you, you know, like that if you're talking with somebody and you need to think very clearly, or under the table if you're sitting at the table and talking with people and feeling a little bit like, oh, I feel a little bit overwhelmed, then you can just tap on this karate chop point. So let's start off with our 3 setup statements and tapping on the karate chop point. And we'll say that, so when we're tapping here then, the capillaries don't constrict 70%. Instead, they stay open. So that's a wonderful thing to do because this is your self-awareness center, your prefrontal cortex. And also helps you think about what is the next best thing that I can do right now. Like maybe I can ask somebody else, how are they doing with their changes? You know, like moving to a new place, or like for Micheal, it was going to school for the first time because you've been homeschooled. So now you're in this new situation outside of home with very external things, people who don't really communicate with the divine in their center of being on a regular basis. So this is a whole different world that Micheal's getting used to. And so we'll just tap on that, okay? So inside of you, you know that you have 50% chaos and 50% clarity, right? Inside of every person. And inside of every person, we have 50% fear and 50% courage. And so we know that what we can do is we can choose, right? When we have clarity, we can choose in the midst of that whether to respond in a way that is inducive for clarity, or to respond in a way that is inducive for courage, right? So we have courage, and we have fear, and we have chaos, and we have clarity, right? We have doubt, and we have certainty, right? So we can choose in that moment by taking a minute to tap on our karate chop points, and then your prefrontal cortex stays nice and oxygenated because those capillaries stay open, right? And so then from that place you can respond instead of reacting with the hormones, the stress hormone cortisol, right? Then you can, instead of having all that oxygen go to the arms and legs to run from the saber-toothed tiger, because that's our default mechanism. There's so many things in the world right now, Micheal. You were protected in homeschool, and in school, in the outside world, there are a lot of things that might seem strange to you, like people saying mean things, right? And things that aren't true or just don't really make sense because they're not true, or spoken because that child had something happen to them, and so they're just doing it to you because that's what they know how to do. So you come in front of all these different personalities who bring different things to your life, and it's up to you. You can use your tapping to create a sense of calm. So we're going to tap. First we'll start with 3 setup statements, right? And so tapping on the karate chop, when we do that, we say, even though I have, and then the problem in the box, whatever it is, right? This problem, I love and accept myself exactly as I am. And we do that 3 times. So even though, Micheal, and excellent tapping all the time too. You can switch hands, right? You can go like this if you want to, or you can go like that. But just lightly tapping on the karate chop point, then repeat after me. Even though I have this uncomfortable feeling inside my body and my mind, and it feels a bit overwhelming, I accept and I love myself exactly as I am. Good job, Micheal. Nice repeating. So let's do 2 more. Even though I have this overwhelm because I'm going into a new situation. And there's all these new people. And inside of me, I have 50% overwhelm and 50% clarity. And inside of me, I have 50% overwhelm and 50% clarity. Good. So I feel clear 50%, that's certain. And I feel unclear 50%, that's certain. Because I'm a human being, and that's what all of us have. Even though I have both of that, and I'm in this strange situation, it's all new, and it feels a little overwhelming. I love and accept myself exactly as I am. Even though this feels a little overwhelming, and sometimes a lot, and it feels like chaos. I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna love and accept myself. I'm gonna choose this. I'm gonna choose clarity because choice is mine and I have power. And I love and accept myself exactly as I am. Inside the eye point, this uncertainty outside the eye, this overwhelm under the eye, in this new situation. Good repeating, Michael. So now we're going to under the nose and repeating after me. Even though the situation, chin, is new, collarbone, and somewhat frightening, under the arm, I feel like I want to run from it, top of the head, or just freeze inside the eye. But I can use technology outside the eye, such as this tapping under the eye, which lowers cortisol stress hormone. Under the nose, this is the truth in science. Chin point, scientific research is a randomized controlled trial. Good. Check out this word. A meta-analysis. Which means an analysis of many studies shows that the tapping is great, innovative, meaning new, technology under the nose to change my biomarkers. Chin point. So when I feel collarbone, overwhelm under the arm, with too much in my mind, good, top of the head, all I have to do is tap inside the eye and nurture those feelings. Outside the eye, and nurture myself for having those feelings. Under the eye, I am me with or without these feelings. Under the nose, I am me with or without clarity. Chin, I am me with or without chaos. Collarbone, I am powerful. Collarbone, and I can choose which path to take to know that my universe is friendly. Under the arm, I can choose confidence. Top of the head, and I choose to have clarity and calm within anytime I need it. There you go, Michael. Have a super day. It's great to see you.